Hello darlings, and welcome back to Everything Tumbler Tutorials. My name is Rebecca Escott, and today I'm going to be working with a BAMF Custom Creations semi-transparent design. I'm going to show you in this video how you can use this semi-transparent and wrap an entire tumbler. So I'm going to go ahead and peel up about 2 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and leave the backing on for as long as I can while placing the vinyl onto the tumbler. So in placing my vinyl, I really like to have about 1 inch or so sticking up from the top rim, as it's much easier to trim down from the top than it is the bottom. So I always like to use my bottom as my guide for placing the vinyl. So I really like the semi-transparent because you can use this on a light surface and or a dark glittered surface. Most importantly, as we place this vinyl down, we're going to rub this down repeatedly to make sure we do not have air pockets trapped up underneath. You will see those after you epoxy. You'll also notice that I did take my time when placing this particular vinyl around my tumbler, as I really did not want to manipulate it too much. Be sure to use your velvet side when rubbing this down so that you don't damage your vinyl. Once we go ahead and meet up with the back, I'm going to go ahead and just trim off this excess, and then I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to trim the seam. Here's where I'm going to go ahead and rub this tumbler down really well. Just remember, if you can see the air pockets before epoxy, you will see them after you epoxy. So if you come across a large air pocket, just pop it with your weeding pen and rub it out. I really hope you're enjoying this video so far, and if so, please hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, make sure you click the bell to get notifications for every time I launch a new video. Once you're pretty confident that you've removed all of your air pockets, we're now going to go ahead and trim the rim. Make sure when trimming the rim that you have a nice sharp X-Acto knife, and it makes this so much easier. So now I'm going to go ahead and tape off the bottom, and we're just going to paint this a vintage blush. Once painted, I'm going to allow this to dry, and then we can go right into a coat of epoxy. So anytime you want to spray paint your tumbler, you want to make sure you protect your vinyl at all costs. So I like to use parchment paper and just wrap it up and tape it up really, really well. And or you can use the saran wrap. Either way, you want to make sure it's nice and tight so you don't have any overspray that bleeds under. Now that our tumbler is completely dry, I'm going to go ahead and do my first coat of epoxy, adding the Snow Caps additive right into my epoxy. For this first coat, I am going to be using Fast Set from Counterculture DIY. So once this first coat was completely cured, I decided to go back in and cut out one of the cheetah heart prints from this design and add it down at the bottom. This tumbler only took one more final coat, which I used the Artist Resin from Counterculture DIY, and it was completed. I want to thank you so much for watching, and be sure to find me on TikTok under Rebecca Escott, Facebook at Everything Tumbler Tutorials for continued learning. Remember, all links will be in the description for you below. As always, make sure you use your heat torch to pop any bubbles you may or may not be able to see.
Driving at night, windowless ride, feeling alive. Nothing in sight, forever in flight. Follow those lines, we'll make it this time. Blurry street lights, work as a guide to memories that we're making tonight. Oh yeah, we'll make it tonight. Yeah. I'll do anything